Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Jessica Penne up against Tabatha Ricci this weekend at the big one, UFC 285. Jessica, really good to speak to you, one of the OGs of the game. How intrigued are you by this Ricci fight? You guys were supposed to fight in October. I suppose you're used to the ups and downs of cancelled fights, rebook fights now, but how much are you relishing this one?
I'm really looking forward to it. I asked to be rebooked with her as soon as possible, but there just wasn't any availability. So here we are in March, about to fight each other. So yeah, it's been a long time coming. I'm looking forward to it. It's challenging, exciting matchup.
Your last fight was last year. I mean, how much are you hungry for the win here, and how much do you miss that feeling?
You know what? I am always appreciative of the experience, win or lose. It's just, yeah, it's just part of the journey. There's a lot of learning in losses, sometimes not as much in victories. So I'm just happy that I get to, still participate in a sport that I love, and I'm still learning and growing and enjoying it.
What do you love about this sport?
I training can be so restricted and challenging, but the minute I get to walk through the doors of the octagon, I just feel really free, and I feel like I get to express myself in a way that a lot of people don't. And with each training camp, with each fight, I get to know myself a little bit better, and I think that that's a huge gift.
She's coming off of a really decent win over Polyana Viana, who's very formidable, and in good form. Where do you see yourself taking her out? Where do you see yourself beating her?
I think it's a really fun matchup. I think potentially the fight can, be all over the place. It can be standing, grappling, wrestling. I just plan to go in there. I don't like to go in with necessarily game plans, but more awareness of tendencies and just see where the fight takes me and see, what my body wants to do. I think that's really fun part of fighting for me. And I think I match up well. I think that I see, there's some openings, there's some, challenges that she can bring to me as well. It's a fight, so anything can happen.
Do you think your experience is a factor here, like having more tricks up your sleeve to pull from?
Yeah, I think that's always an advantage. I like to think of, me being a veteran and being in there for a long time with, lots of different looks and styles of fighters. I think that I do bring that experience as a positive, and I can definitely use that to my advantage.
You fought so many of the biggest names in the sport, and Bellator. You've been out in Japan, Invicta, tough. What's your favorite achievement in your career, or your favorite moment?
I was just talking about this with my bestie Angela on our Two Straws podcast, and I think my favorite memory experience in fighting was going to Japan on a week notice and fighting the promotion sweetheart Reina in shootboxing. It was, once in a lifetime experience. I had no idea what shootboxing was until they pitched the fight to me. And, I basically kind of learned on the flight over and studied footage while I was there. And it was just a great fight. It took me to a place where I'd never been before. Mentally, emotionally, geographically, it was just it was a really great fight experience, and it really brought out the best in me.
Was that a bucket list thing for you? I feel like so many fighters, like, they have to fight in Japan at least once, and to do that and to win, I think you were the underdog as well, right? Like, that must have been pretty
I
special.
was, yeah, I was the underdog. I mean, of course, you go to Japan in enemy territory on an organization that wants you to fight their champion, and I walk into the arena. And there's, her banners are everywhere, and, everyone's wearing her shirts and cheering her name. Of course, I knew I was brought in to lose, but, and I had no idea about the extension rounds that I would end up fighting in. We went to, I think it was a majority draw, and then we had extension round after extension round. And finally, they had no choice but to raise my hand at the end of it. So it was very challenging, but it was a priceless experience.
What do you think about the top of the division right now? Do you think Zhang Weili is the best fighter in the division, or do you think who's gonna fight her next? Should it be Rose again?
Um, I think that at the top of the division, I think that right now Weili is definitely at the top. I think what she showed in her last fight was extremely impressive with a lot of growth. I think she is a very great dominant champion. I I don't know if Rose is going to be next, but I'm not exactly sure who would be next. It's, you know, one fight can change the whole landscape of the title picture. So it's a really fun and exciting division. It's kind of up for grabs at times.
Are you somebody who would be for a super fight between Valentina and Wei Li, or does that hold up the division? But in this instance, maybe it seems like if Valentina wins this weekend, then that might be the right fight to make.
I mean, I think we're at a time right now in combat sports where everybody wants these, you know, kind of like dream matchups and scenarios. And I think it's exciting in theory, but I don't like that it does actually hold up the division in that way. But I think it can make for an exciting fight, and it, you know, could bring a new excitement to the sport and draw more attention. But I'm not exactly sure how that fight would I don't know. I think it's more of a dream matchup than anything.
Having been on Tough, how intrigued are you by McGregor Chandler, and is this kind of good for the show, do you think?
Oh man, I mean, I definitely think that they are two people who are going to bring the drama and the excitement, and people will definitely tune in to watch them. You know, my experience on The Ultimate Fighter is, you know, it's a reality TV show, even though it's, you know, competition is intentional in there. But I think that, you know, to get viewers spiked, you want the drama, you want the chaos, and I definitely think that they'll bring that.
You guys have been owning it with your podcast. Is media and this kind of thing something you want to explore more when you hang it up?
You know, in my time away from the sport in the last few years, I had the opportunity to do UFC Now, which was more of an, you know, an analyst panel, and I really enjoyed it. And then I transitioned to doing behind the scenes interviews and commentary for CFFC. And, you know, now we're having a lot of fun with the podcast. You know, I have a BA in communication, so it's something that was always of an interest to me. And I'm embracing the opportunities.
Going to wrap up with a little quick fire now, if it's all right with you. Angie got 2 votes for funniest fighter in the UFC in the last couple of days, which was fun. So, who is the hardest hitter in the UFC?
The hardest hitter in the UFC? I would imagine that it's a heavyweight.
Pound for pound.
Pound for pound? I don't know.
Let's go with just the female fighters. Hardest hitter.
The female fighters, hardest hit. I mean, you have to go with the top of the division, the champ, Amanda Nunes. Like, you have to.
Who's the funniest?
My girl Angela Hill. Come on now. You're welcome.
Best wrestler.
Best wrestler. I mean, out of the women, yeah, Tatiana Suarez.
Who's the most annoying?
Angela. Just kidding. She's sitting right here, so
I got that impression. Who's the best dressed?
The best dressed out of the women? I would say, I mean, females in the UFC like Laura Senko or Megan Olivier.
Who would you most like to go to
women
dinner?
in the UFC?
Who would you most like to go to dinner with?
But I'm most likely, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would have to pick my bestie again. Like, no, I'm not saying that. Stop it. No, I feel like I'd have to say Angela Hill. Like, we have a good time, you know, we always have fun together. So why would I want to take anybody else?
Who's got the coolest tattoos?
Honestly, I think MMA fighters have like the worst tattoos in the world. Like, they are like the worst. Men and women division, terrible tattoos. Awful.
Who's the best looking?
The best looking, Stop it. You've already gotten too many fights right now. Stop it. Stop. Best looking female fighter. You know, what's her name? King?
Oh, Casey?
Yeah, Casey King. I have like a total girl crush on her. I think she's really beautiful.
Who's got the highest fight IQ?
Me. No, I'm just kidding. Highest fight IQ. I mean, I think I would have to say Valentina. I think that she, you know, is very smart in the cage and makes good adjustments. So does Rose, honestly. Yeah, I would have to say them.
Who is the most interesting male fighter?
Next time you ask me these, you really have to give me some time to prep because I'm low on carbs, man.
It wouldn't be a quick
my
fire.
brain is not high firing right now.
It wouldn't be a quick fire. I'm supposed to put you on the spot. So
Goodness. The most interesting. I'm not saying that. I think maybe the most like charismatic or like cool person, maybe like Tai Tuivasa. I think he's super funny and I think he'd be fun to go have a beer with.
yeah, for sure. I think so. And we're almost there. Who's got the best hands? Female.
The best hands, female hands. I gotta give it to Rose. I think she has really beautiful striking.
And finally, who would be your dream fight in any weight class, past or present?
My dream fight would just be to have the atomweight division in the UFC, honestly, and any and all atomweights I would welcome because that's, you know, that's where I started. That's my natural weight class. So I think anything atomweight based.
It'll be slightly more robust than the featherweight division, that's for sure.
Yes.
Cool. All right. It's been a pleasure, Jessica. Best of luck. And thanks, Angela. Good to see you. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.